In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. No, no, no. We listen this quite often, from here, from there. Some of the people say no instantly, clearly, while another, some of the people, they don't speak instantly, promptly, they don't speak clearly, but they do say no to us. This no is something which we do have to face, we do have to come across so often. Some of the people keep us in the dark. They are maybe not courageous enough, or maybe they don't want to hurt us, whatever the reason, but they don't say us clear no, but they actually mean no. And they do implement the no upon us and not the yes upon us. How do you feel, by the way, when somebody says no? Most of us, overwhelming number of us, feel hurted. We feel bad. And we start thinking like, I was good enough. I wonder why this person refused me. I am more competent than most of the applicants. I don't know why I was refused. I am even better than the person who is found saying no to me. Then why did I get a big no? These are the thoughts about no. There are very few of the people who think differently about the no. As far these people are concerned, who think that the no I got was not because of me, it is only because the other person is biased against me, because the other person is not positive enough, because the other person don't know me what I am, because the other person is unjust, because the other person is a foolish one. That is why he she did say the no to me. Otherwise I'm a complete person, and maybe nobody is better than me. All the people who have been, even the people who have been chosen, and the people who have been said yes are not as good as I am. This is the thought of most of the people. But let me tell you that this thought is not a good one at all. And this is a thought which actually makes us, which takes us toward the further failure and not toward the success at all. And because we are hurted now, we are hurted because the people, because the world are all unjust. I think as long as we are thinking like this one, we are not going to move forward and we are not going to develop at all. Rather, a kind of regress will be taking place for all the time, for most of the time with us. No progress, rather the regress. Now, most of the people, maybe two-thirds of the people, maybe even more than two-thirds of the people, think like this and behave like this. Now, there are people who are one-third of the people are even lesser than the this one-third. Now, these people think differently. They don't feel discertain at all. If at all somebody says them no, they don't feel bad at all. They don't feel discertain. They don't lose hope. They don't perceive negatively the person who has been found saying no to these people. And they are not the people who are always looking for the yes, rather they are already ready for the no. And not only that they are ready for the no, rather they do know that what they do have to do after listening the no. What these people actually do after listening the word no, they start preparing further. They start improving themselves further. They know that they do have to learn more. They know that they do have to increase their competency level, the level of their competency and capability. They know that these they have to perform even better. They know that they people have to become an even more competent and better person, so that he she is found able to compete to the rest of the people in the world, to the rest of the people around them. And this is how these one third or even lesser number of the people are found thinking and behaving. Now, who is going to move forward and who is going to develop, who is going to become even more competent person, who is going to come up to the criterion now, if not now, then even in the near future as well. Now, these are the people who love to listen no. They are not afraid of listening the no on the one hand. On the other hand, they know that listening the no actually mean that we need to try again, that we need to become even more competent person. There is another very important and very interesting factor as for the listening of no is concerned. There are people who don't make the frequent tries. Now these people are found they found thinking, should I try, shouldn't I try, I would be a failure if I do try. Now these are the people actually who remain in confusion for most of the time. Now, these people, because of their lack of clarity and because of their lack of courage as well, now these people make the rare tries. They don't make the frequent tries at all, and once they don't make the frequent tries, so every time they had to listen the no, they feel hurt and they feel bad and they feel somewhat demoralized as well. This demoralization of these people actually makes them even more weak and a weaker human being. And when somebody is getting more and more weak, what is going to happen then? That they will be reluctant to make the next tries on the one hand, and they will be more hesitant. They will not be even preparing better because they people know that they are going to listen the no again. So because they didn't improve their competency, why they didn't improve their competency? Because they were hurted. We don't need to feel hurted at all. Rather, the nay is the no, listening the no, it is actually a kind of nutrition. It is a kind of very good feedback. What sort of feedback is it, by the way? It actually means that we need to make another attempt, we need to make still another attempt and still another attempt as well. And prior to making the attempt, further a new attempt, we need to improve ourselves actually. We need to become even a better person. But if at all we have not increased our competency, yet there is no harm in trying for another time. There is no harm in trying more and more and more and more. And people who are intelligent enough, they people don't hesitate to try for another time. They are always found trying, but they do enhance their competency as and when they find an opportunity, because they think that improving their competency will make them more and more eligible, will make them more and more deserving as for the success is concerned, as for the happiness is concerned. Dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad, what to do now? What to do now? Never ever hate those people who say no to you. They people are not your enemies at all. If at all you are perceiving them as your opponent, then this is not a foolishness on the part of those people. This is not a being biased on the part of those people. Rather, it is being biased on the part of us. Actually, it is being foolish on the part of us. We need to come out of this foolishness, and we need to come out of the stupidity. We need to act wisely. We need to act sensibly. We need to act positively, and we need to act even more positively. There are enough number of people in the world who had listened the refusal, the no, many times in their during their lifetime, but later on the kind of success they had achieved, it outweighed the no maybe 100 times. There are countless people in the world, and many of them are very famous people as well. The two of very famous people are appearing in my mind. One is the Chinese businessman Jack Ma, Jack Ma was trying for the very smaller things and he was refused from everywhere else. Maybe he got a refusal from 23 places. Then he started his own business, and once he did start his own business, now he is one of the best, one of the top tycoons in the world. Now earlier he was trying for the very small jobs, and had he achieved had he succeeded in achieving any of those jobs, we would not have been knowing him, who is Jack Ma, by the way. And now there is another person. He is a very famous American president. All the American presidents are not a very famous one, but this one is one of the very famous American presidents. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln failed and failed and failed at many places in his lifetime, but he didn't get disheartened at all. He kept trying, and a time arrived when he succeeded. Where did he succeed, by the way? He succeeded in achieving the biggest slot possible in front of him. Biggest slot in front of him. That is what he achieved. Being an American president, he enjoyed the two terms of American presidency on the one hand. He became one of the very famous presidents on the other hand. I think so. If at all you are getting the refusals from one place or the other place, if at all I am getting the refusal from the one place or the other place, it does not mean that we need to get demoralized. Not at all, not at all, not at all. Rather, we need to keep our morale high. That is only possible if at all we adamant to remain positive, and we are adamant to remain totally positive. If at all we are totally positive, we shall be found learning. We desperately need to learn out of every no. We desperately need to learn from so many things, but we desperately need to learn from listening the no. And if at all we make one thing as a habit, and this one thing as a habit is that we are found learning from every no, and we are making commitment with we ourselves, that I shall be making attempts from here and from there and from everywhere else. I shall keep increasing not only my competency, my positivity level, not only my positivity level, rather my competency as well, and not only my positivity and the competency level, rather I shall be making even more and more and even more tries. Thank you very much.